Here is review part 3, starting with number 18, 17, the answers on the back. Find the difference of these two polynomials. B squared minus 2b plus b is one polynomial, minus 3b squared plus 4b minus 1 is the other polynomial. A couple different ways you could do this. One way I just do it is b squared minus the like term of minus, so I have b squared minus 3b squared. So that becomes a minus 2b squared. B squared, one of them, minus 3 of them gives 2. Then I have minus 2b minus 4b. Minus 2b minus another 4 is going to be minus 6b. 5 minus a negative 1, a negative becomes positive, so that's plus 6. That's one way, and that's the way I do it. Another way you could do it is you could rewrite this second polynomial by taking this and making it a plus, and this becomes a minus, and a plus. So I have b squared plus a minus 3b squared, so that's negative 2b squared. Negative 2b plus a negative 4b, that's negative 6b. And plus 5 plus a positive 1, and that becomes 6. Sometimes I do it both ways just to make sure. Now here for 19 and 20, multiplying binomials, I will do this one. I like to use the distribution method, which is very similar to the FOIL, because it's 3x times 2x, then 3x times there. So 3x times 2x, I'm distributing that 3x, I get 6x squared. Then 3x times a minus 2 is minus 6x. Now I'll distribute the 6. 6 times 2x is plus 12x. And 6 times minus 2 is minus 12. Combining any like terms will bring 6x squared. There's no other x squareds there. Minus 6x plus 12x is plus 6x, and then minus 12. And there's the final answer when you multiply those two binomials together. This one should yield an interesting result. I'm going to leave 21 for you also. We've done many of these, and you can look back at the one I just did to make sure you know how to do it. X plus 2 cubed. That's the same thing as x plus 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 2. So in order to multiply this, I will multiply the first two binomials together. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. I will simplify that to be x squared plus 4x plus 4, combining those like terms. And now I have a trinomial from those two being multiplied together. But I'm going to multiply it by x plus 2. I like to put the x plus 2 out front. And now I'm going to distribute and multiply this binomial times this trinomial by distributing first the x. X times x squared is x cubed. X times 4x is 4x squared. X times 4 is 4x. Plus, because this is a plus, positive 2 times a positive x squared is 2x squared. Positive 2 times 4x is plus 8x. And positive 2 times 4 is 8. And to finish this problem completely, I will now make sure that all the like terms have been simplified and combined. X cubed, there's no other x cubed terms. X squared, I have 4x squared here and 2x squared plus 6x squared. Here I have 4x plus 8x, that's plus 12x. And then the only constant is the 8 plus 8. And that's the final answer. I can leave this one for you to do, and this one also. Just distribute negative 2x to each term. 25, also the answer is to the side. Some of these I want you to just try. We've done them many times. Look for the like terms. This -2 reminds us not to make this negative, no. It tells us to move the 6 into the denominator and square it. This fractional exponent, remember, it tells us to take the root, a root, tells us to take the square root of 36. That's 6. The cubed root of 27 is 3. Number 29, when we have a fraction with a numerator and a denominator other than 1, then this bottom number tells us to take the cubed root of 8, and then when we're done doing that, we square it with the top number, the numerator. Cubed root of 8 is 2, and squared, and then that's 4. (31), following kind of a PEMDAS order of operations thought, I will take 2 and square what's inside these parentheses. Use the exponent, do the exponent raising this, what's in the parentheses, to this exponent. 2 squared is 4, and x cubed squared is x to the 6. Multiplying those two together, times what's on the outside, 3x squared. And I multiply 4 times 3 is 12, and x to the 6 times x squared is x to the 8. I'm going to do one more problem. We did some of these in class today. I'm going to use elimination to solve number 33. Remember, when we're using elimination, we're going to add these two equations together so we can eliminate one of the variables. However, we don't have a coefficient that is the same here. We want coefficients that are the same but opposite signs. So one of these equations will need to be multiplied by a number to make it look to have the same coefficient as one of the equations above. I'm looking at the 7 right here. If we multiply this bottom equation by a -7, then this y will become -7y. So I'm going to rewrite the first equation, -5x plus 7y equals 1. Now this second equation, I'll multiply everything by -7, so I'll get my -7y. -14x minus 7y equals -77. I'm going to add the two equations together. Those will cancel, and that's the job of elimination. -19x equals -76. I'm going to divide both sides by -19. And I happen to know that 4 times 9 is 76. 4 times 19 is 76. 4 times 9 is a 6. I carry the 3. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. Kind of did that one in my head. +4. Negative divided by negative is +4. So x equals +4. Now I want to find the point, the coordinate point actually, where these two lines would cross. So I need to find y. I'll put 4 into my original equation. I'll choose the top one. -5 times 4 plus 7 times y equals 1. That's -20 plus 7y equals 1. 7y equals 21. Dividing both sides by 7 gives y equals 3, and there's the coordinate point for number 33. I am going to just talk about this for a second. When you're finding the GCF, remember, look at the coefficient, the number in here, 30, and the 18 to see what's in common, and then look at the variables. The only thing 3, maybe a 6. 6. 2 works and 3 works, so 6 works. There, I just did it for you. 6. And let me make sure that's right. Yes. And then here, what do I need to multiply negative 8 by, negative 8 and 1 cubed by, to get this? Well, negative 8 times what will give me 16? And negative 2. And y to the third power needs to be multiplied by y squared to give y to the fifth. And I need an x squared. So I see this as being negative 8 times negative 2 to give 16, y cubed times y squared to give y to the fifth, and x squared times this, the x squared. And we're back to what we started. Study, do your homework, have a nice night. See you soon.